All right, we got a bunch of news stories to go over today, including a cryptic Bioware tweet. Epic is going to continue their free games program. We've got some Gloomhaven slash pandemic board game, and the Outer Wilds, not the Outer Worlds, the Outer Wilds, says that with subscription based models like Game Pass, things are going to start getting really weird in the gaming industry. Our first story here is from Games Radar, all about BioWare and Mass Effect. This article and the tweet I'm about to talk about came out yesterday, January 14th. BioWare sent out a cryptic Mass Effect tweet earlier today, and it got us wondering what is going on. I'm a little editing there. Are we going to expect a port to the Nintendo Switch? Are they going to remaster the trilogy? Yes, I said trilogy here. Could they just be reminding us that they did messed up with the Andromeda game and just screwed the pooch on that one? Or are they working on another Mass Effect game? Who knows? All that we do know is that there really haven't been any crazy tweets about Mass Effect. They use the hashtag mass relays, which, other than people wondering what the hell is this hashtag all about, there hasn't been a use of it since 2012. This is according to Alyssa Mercante over at Games Radar. So she could not find anything else that was related to Mass Effect and the mass relays hashtag other than people going, what is this all about? They did, in this video that they posted on there, they had an opening part there. Just a little bit about this. They called it the greatest discovery in human history. The civilizations of the galaxy call it Mass Effect. So this is talking about, this is the intro to the first Mass Effect game, talking about when the human race first discovered their mass relay, their Mass Effect. What is this all about? What is going on with this? N7 Day isn't anywhere near. Are they trying to get us ready for a Dragon Age game? We know that there is a Dragon Age game, but there's nothing special about January 14th. There's nothing that we really know is going to happen or has happened on January 14th. And as the time of recording on January 15th, nothing related to this has happened. So what is BioWare doing? Are they just teasing us? Are they going, hey, you remember this great game? You remember how we used to be awesome? Yeah, well, you can't have it. You can't get it now, so nanny 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 boo boo. Yeah, well, I'm the only one who gets to play it kind of thing. What's going on with that? This could be nothing. This could be, as mentioned before, an indication that they're porting it to the Switch. Like, everything right now is getting a Switch port. So we've already got The Witcher on there. There's talk that we could get the new Doom game on the Switch. They already ported Doom 2016 to the Switch, which is an impressive feat. They are already porting the Bioshock series to the Switch. Everything's getting a Switch port. Could this just mean that we're going to be able to relive all the glory days of Mass Effect, maybe with a shiny new coat of paint on some of it, an HD edition, a reworked version of that? Could we just be getting a remastered edition coming out for next-gen consoles to get everybody hyped for the new Dragon Age game? Who really knows? But I'll be looking forward. I'll be keeping my eyes open. Epic Games has celebrated a fantastic year. They made over $600 million from their Epic Game stores. Now, the Epic Game Store as a whole has a long way to go. I really would love it if they had a cart, a stupid cart. So if I'm trying to buy more than one game at a time, which is something that happens, hey, guess what? You sometimes put out 2 free games at a time, and then I have to get 2 different emails, go through the whole process of buying a game twice. It's just really annoying. It's an improvement that would really help out your storefront, that would really go on to make everything better, kind of smooth things over a little bit. But this story comes from GameSpot, and it does say that Epic will continue this year in 2020 their weekly free games. So if you're not familiar with their weekly free games, the Epic Store gives out every week at least one free game. And you don't have to pay for it. You don't have to do anything. You never have to buy anything. You could just go on, log in, get your free game, and that's it. Sometimes they do offer 2 games, and that comes out if there is a game that has a mature rating, or if you're over in Europe, a PEGI 18 rating. Then they'll offer a second game for any of those younger players that aren't old enough and should not be playing. Naughty, naughty, shame on you. Should not be playing those games before you turn 17 or 18, respectively, in your areas. So, they will continue to do this, and if you've been keeping up with and purchased, quote unquote, purchased all of your free games over the last year, you would have, in Epic's estimation, $1,455 worth of games. So, pretty solid. They've had some great games on there. Not all of them have been absolute bangers, but in the 73 games that they've released since the end of 2018, the notable ones are Subnautica, What Remains of Edith Finch, The Witness, Alan Wake, Celeste, and Superhot. Now, I've played Superhot on PC and on Xbox back when that was a free game with Xbox, and that game is so much fun. It is definitely worth buying if you don't have it yet. I highly recommend that game, but hey, if you're paying attention and you're part of this, you could have got Superhot for free. So, we do have one game out at the time of recording. It's Sundered Eldritch Edition. This is kind of a Metroidvania style game where you just run around, kind of half platformer, Metroidvania style, going around, and it's got the Cthulhu theming on it, and that is still available up until tomorrow, January 16th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. It'll disappear, and it'll be replaced with the platforming adventure of Horus. So, if you're like me, you not only like video games, you like board games. What happens when you try to merge those two things? Well, you get a game called Return to Dark Tower. This app-enabled board game crosses over those video game parts as well as some board game parts into one really entertaining game, one great concept. It is developed by Pandemic Legacy creator Rob DeVoe and Gloomhaven creator Isaac Childers. I hope I really pronounced those names right. I'm terrible with pronunciations. You can check all of my previous videos for that. I am horrible with pronunciations. The base game will cost you about $125. This is being kickstarted, so go ahead and check out that Kickstarter. I'll leave in a link in the description below. Right now, they're looking for at least $850,000. This would be published by Restoration Games, which did the Fireball Island game. Whole bunch of fun. This campaign runs through February 4th. There will be rotating motorized glyphs that are lit, that are in the center of the board game, and they'll have multiple different things with LEDs and lights, and this is going to be one crazy game. The concept art, I highly recommend you go check it out. The concept art for this is fantastic. This is for 1 to 4 players. This will take you anywhere from just over an hour and a half to 2 hours. In my experience, that 2 hours probably means closer to 3, and this is for people ages 10 and up. So I'd go ahead, go to Kickstarter, check out what it's all about, watch their intro video, watch maybe some gameplay demo, and see if this is something for you. I think it would be really cool to play, and I'm probably going to pre-order this. This next story comes from gamesindustry.biz. Subscriptions will unlock the market to weirder things, says the Outer Wilds devs. Now, the Outer Wilds has been considered by a lot of people that it's an experimental game. This is crazy how you piece together the game's narrative by reliving a solar system's last 22 minutes. So you go out, you can check out a place for 22 minutes, and that's it. It starts over. You go again. You can try to get further into that same place that you were at, or you can try to check out a new world. Now, The Outer Wilds has had 5 GDC Award nominations that it's running for this year, including the Innovation Award. So what was nice about this one is they were able to get some funding through Xbox and through the Epic Games Store with all the controversy that was surrounding that. It was kickstarted. It was that crowdsourced funding there. And then that happened with Epic and Xbox, and now it's on Game Pass, and what they're saying is, yes, they made some mistakes and that there are a few things that happened that probably weren't the best option for them. But what they'll be able to do with the subscription model is be able to take more chances. So you won't get those shooters that, let's face it, every time a new shooter comes out, we're 90% sure how it's going to work. We know that you'll be able to zoom with the one trigger, shoot with the other trigger, X is your action button, bumper's a grenade, that kind of stuff. And we know how all that's function, and that's kind of nice where it gives you that familiarity, but I'd like some experimentation. I'd like to see devs go out there and take a chance with some kind of crazy story like The Outer Wilds, where you only get 22 minutes and that's it. Boom, it's gone. Redo. Check it out, see what happens. Quoting here from the article, we're on Game Pass for Xbox and it's been a really awesome experience because I think it's brought a lot of players to the game who would not have known about it otherwise. So I think that's been a big gift, the same way it's changed the TV and movie worlds. The subscription system is also going to impact the games industry very significantly. We're starting to see that, and starting to see it may be unlocking the market to weirder things and more original things that would have been too risky beforehand. That is coming from the developers of The Outer Wilds. So, I think there are definitely games on Game Pass that I would not have played, I would have not spent my own money on, unless it was free there. Or if it was maybe a Games with Gold or one of the Epic Game Store free games. There are a lot that sound interesting, but aren't necessarily my cup of tea. I think the subscription model is really going to be great. You're going to have your tentpoles, your Gears of War, your Halos, those kinds of games, but then you'll get other games that people go, hey, this Outer Wilds looks pretty cool, let me try that out. Or some other game that crowd might not have necessarily played beforehand, would not have spent the money on, and now the developers can make something more. Maybe you get introduced to a whole new genre, all because you tried out one game for free on Game Pass. Our final story comes from US Gamer. Soccer legend Rio Ferdinand urges adults to set parameters over money and time kids spend on video games. Rio Ferdinand, for those who don't know, is a former pro soccer player from Manchester United and the English national team. He started a new campaign here called Get Smart About Play, where he is really urging parents that kids are spending a lot of time playing video games. They're spending a lot of their money and probably your money if you didn't lock off your credit card in the right way. All this time spent playing video games. While video games are fun, I'm making all these videos about video games. I love video games, but I also am much older. I have an understanding that I know that I need to set limits for myself, and I actually don't play too many video games on a week as a whole. Like one day I might spend 7 or 8 hours playing games, but my weekly total might only be 10 hours, maybe 12 hours. So I understand that I need to take a break from this. I need to go outside. I need to go for a run. I need to exercise. I need to get some activity in my life. And we've seen a lot of issues come up from video games. I know that there's this big controversy, violent video games, blah, blah, blah. We hear it all the time. Anytime a new Doom game comes out, anytime a new Mortal Kombat game comes out, video games are too violent. They're causing violence in kids. The studies haven't really shown it. And Matt Pat really has a great video of explaining this, that there really is no correlation between the two. Now with this, we have seen, and as a sports medicine professional, as my big boy job, I understand that the more you sit around like that, the more you set yourself up for obesity, for heart disease, increasing your risk for stroke, just being unhealthy in general, diabetes. Sitting on your butt all day playing video games is a bad idea. Now we have kids that sit in classrooms all day, come home, play video games all day, eat junk food, do all that stuff when they should go outside and play. I've noticed that my neighbors have actually set some parameters on when they can or can't play video games. A lot of times when it's raining outside, obviously you can't really go outside, you can't do as much, so they'll be inside playing video games, but on a sunny day, most of the kids that are growing up in my neighborhood, their parents kick them out, and get them moving. So I think this is a great idea. And one of the quotes from Ferdinand, the Get Smart About Play campaign provides parents and guardians with practical tips on how to achieve balance and set parameters on the amount of time and money you spend on play. I think this is a great idea. There is a great video that he has put out about this campaign. I'll link it right here. And then you can go ahead and check that out, see what this is. We know that parents don't always understand what video games are, that they don't understand some of the health implications. Now, if you want to let your kids play video games for 10 hours a day, that's fine. You do you. But I think providing the information out there and showing what can happen would be a great resource for parents and explaining it in a way that's comprehensive to them. So if you're curious, go ahead and check out the video. I've linked it in the description as well. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up. If you really liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. Hit that bell for notifications, and I'll catch you all in the next video.